live. We are live. Like we are here every Wednesday, 7 to 9 p.m. on DTFradio.com. You see it in the background. If you don't log on to the Ustream, you could hear this, but now you can see this. So this we're doing the Doggie Diamonds No Filter live on DTF Radio right now and shit like that. Right, we got DJ Damage on the ones and twos. Tad is here with me. We wanted to build with y'all on some shit today. We have been everything. We, myself included, yourself included, everything has been compromised. Everything is just fucked up. Like, give me some examples of what you think is fucked up right now.
I think fashion is fucked up. I think fashion is jammed all the way up. Our music is compromised. Family dynamics and relationships are compromised. Our food is compromised.
Water.
Shout out to Flint.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm saying all that because right now, a lot of shit that we know to be abnormal is being made to seem like it's normal. So you'll see a motherfucker walk past with straight up slave attire on, and he got mad holes in his shit everywhere, and I'm like, you bought that shit?
Word.
And I went in a place like Jimmy Jazz, and a shirt would be like $80, and it got mad holes in it. And I'm like, how the fuck is the shirt $80 with mad holes in it? Like, who the fuck is going to buy that? So that's what fashion is now. Fashion is clothes that's just all ripped and fucked up now. That's what we call it fashion now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just confused. And that bag is real loud. You can hear everything from the bag. Yes. What's that brew in there? Look, she got some bum ass.
And it's just a little fat juice.
Bum ass
friends, a little
fat. Look at that. They ain't giving us no money for this, so I'm not supporting that.
That's a little something.
But anyway, so the situation is, let me move over a little bit.
Oh.
Okay.
I didn't know what to drink first.
Right,
they gave me two. My Dominicans gave me two. They gave me two.
So the point I'm making is that, like, right now, where we at with everything that we once knew to be, I guess I could say, yeah, I'll be over here. Everything that we once knew to be like some normal shit is just not normal now. You know, gentrification in the neighborhoods, the neighborhoods have been compromised. When you grew up at has been compromised. The values has been compromised. Like, people don't even hold friendships and relationships in no regards anymore. It's like you can know somebody for 10 years and the motherfucker will shit on you for somebody they just met.
Yeah, that's true.
And over Facebook posts.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Over Facebook posts, over Instagram posts and shit. So, you know what I'm saying? I believe in
hit you with an angry or something heartfelt.
Word. Is that, you know, my whole thing is that I'm not having it. Like, I'm ready to start holding motherfuckers to standards back to, you know, certain moral values and principles, because shit is just fucked up. Y'all in the scene?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Shit is just really just fucked up right now. And I just feel like, you know, we've been compromised. Damn it, you can come over here and join. They can't see you, but they can hear you.
Okay.
We can't see.
We got DJ Damage here. We got Coco in the building. We got Tad. This is a podcast, no filter. It's live on YouTube, so they can see it. But y'all gonna be able to hear it in the iTunes world and the SoundCloud world. We at DTFradio.com right now. DTF radio station. Let me make sure Damage has a microphone on.
Check.
Where you at?
Rolling my eyes at Omen, trying to censor my talking.
Okay, so Damage. The topic is we've been compromised. Everything is fucked up. What are some of the things that you see and you walk down the street, or just in the behaviors of people that you like, yo, what the fuck is going on?
Common sense is fucked.
Common sense, good one.
Yeah,
the rapper.
Common sense ain't really common.
Yeah.
You know, like the homie said, I believe in music personally. I mean, you know, everything is just like, it's just smoke and mirrors. You know, it's just like we in an era of like image. You know,
imagery is everything.
Yeah, like people don't read. You know, it's just a lot of shit. Like,
but what I'm saying is that I think everything is cut and dry, right in everybody's face.
Right.
You know, when let's say a Dr. Umar hits the Breakfast Club, right? Everybody's smart for a time. Everybody is woke. Yeah, everybody's smart. You know, everybody know what the fuck is going on. Everybody's active with what's happening with black people and matters. But then if he's on Monday, by the time Tuesday come and whatever reality TV show they off that.
Yo, it's funny you said that because that was one of the things I was thinking too. Just our whole movement, our Black liberation movement has been compromised.
Yes.
Because if you fast forward to this day and age, you'll say, well, what's the movement? People will say Black Lives Matter. But many people don't know that Black Lives Matter is actually an advocacy group for homos. That's it. Yeah, they really don't care too much about Black people. It's more about queer, trans, and gay. And the fact of the matter is that is not my struggle. A lot of people who are living alternative lifestyles is actually by choice. There's no scientific proof that a child has been born gay.
No, but the deal is what you're saying is that is their struggle, but the hashtag has been compromised to mean we think as Black people we're supposed to stand with that. Right. And that has nothing to do with us as Black people. That has something to do with a certain class and demographic of Black people.
Exactly.
But that's their thing. That's like me saying, yo, I love the color Black. And it's my thing, but why I love Black because I want motherfuckers to die.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or let's not say Black because we don't want to put that in there. I love the color orange. I love orange. What do you love orange for? Because I love oranges. So somebody be like, yo, I love oranges too. And they don't know that it has something to do with my own personal meaning. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, but it could be universal. They'd be like, yo, I love the color orange too. And they like, you don't know, but that shit got to do with oranges. And you could be allergic to oranges. You know what I'm saying? So this is what happens and everything. So
it becomes a fad and trend.
Yeah, everything, because even in the defense of a Black Lives Matter organization, you see people ain't really jacking that no more. It's not popular to jack that no more.
Right.
So people jumped on that bandwagon, and even Black Lives Matter has been compromised.
Right. Well, they from the inception, they've been compromised. And that's what I say about the movement, because the movement was started by gay women. In fact, and rest in peace to my brother Darren Seals.
Yes.
And my brother, shout out to my brother Chris Seltzer, who's still out there in Ferguson fighting. Because I was down in St. Louis, was about a year or two ago, you know, a little bit after all of this kicked off, working with the brother Darren Seals, and was crazy. And that's when, even when we was talking to Star, remember was it Star? Yeah. And we was talking about Al Sharpton.
Right here.
Yeah. And Star asked me, was I going to Ferguson? And I was like, no. He's like, why not? I said, because we got enough struggle here, part one. We got enough to do here in New York, part one. And part two, how do you boycott a city and town when you're spending your money to stay at their hotels, use their transportation, and support their businesses? But not to get off the subject, the brothers that were down there fighting were saying that there was a movement down there, like all the uprising and bottle throwing wasn't them. They were saying it's people from out of town. It was actually Black Lives Matter, because people felt the pain of the people in Ferguson, so they was donating money. But Black Lives Matter, since they were so well organized, they were acting like they were the umbrella movement and taking the money, and then everybody went back home. And even preachers was in on it. And the people in Ferguson were still left down there.
They got a Jesse Jackson. Remember, Jesse, we don't want you down here, Jesse.
Yeah.
You ain't been out here marching. You've been bullshitting yourself, Jesse.
They didn't want Jesse out there. They didn't want Al Sharpton out there. They didn't want, because this was a grassroots movement. So Black Lives Matter crept in the back door. But the sad part is brothers who was really out there doing the work, like my brother Darren Seals got murdered. There were so many brothers that was murdered down in Ferguson after Mike Brown and in connection with Mike Brown. Even the brother that was with Mike Brown when he got murdered, they killed him. They shot him in his car, set his car on fire. Same thing with the brother Darren Seals. If you ever look at a lot of videos and pictures of Mike Brown's mother, Darren Seals was standing right there next to her. But he was trying to let everybody know the movement has been compromised. He always said he didn't rock with Black Lives Matter. But when he got murdered, it was on CNN and all this stuff. But who was speaking for Darren Seals? Black Lives Matter. So again, the movement has been compromised, because if I don't rock with you, when I pass, you can't speak for me. You got to get the people that I rock with. But that's just one aspect of what has been compromised, because what we believe to be reality is so fake, it's so fraudulent, that people don't know up from down and left from right anymore. Yeah. So even when you start talking about everybody's woke and the consciousness, when brothers such as myself or Doggie Diamonds, or brothers who really live this on a day-to-day basis, we didn't just get into Malcolm. When you read the autobiography of Malcolm,
I was
like 80, like 80 something, right?
I was 13, yeah.
We've been on this since the 80s. I didn't read the autobiography till later, after Dog, but this has been where our mind has been, just coming up as black men in America. But right now, it's a trend right now. It's a trend. You see everybody with their fake dashikis and
motherfuckers got gold and diamond out, iced out unks now. And
yeah,
shit.
you know what I'm saying? Looking crazy. But it goes back to what you said. Nobody reads anymore either. I got the illest library in the crib, and I remember back in the 90s, I used to always go just get books. In fact, I bought a book from Talib Kweli back when he had a Kiru bookstore on Flatbush in St. Mark's. It was, the two books was King Alfred Plan and Mind Control in the United States. And I think Mind Control in the United States, out of all of the books that I own, is one of my favorite because it's not that thick, but it talks about how people are easily influenced through media such as television and radio.
Social engineering.
If a popular person says something, everybody run with it. Not because it's true and has substance, just because they're popular.
Right. Denzel has spoke on that. It's not about the truth no more. It's who get it out there first.
Right.
Denzel, it's a little meme of Denzel. So when you think about Dance Africa was compromised.
Yeah.
I was out at Dance Africa by BAM and I seen I'm like Dance Africa. When I think of Africa, I automatically think of our people, black people. It was interracial couples out there.
I knew what that was about.
And I was like,
and it's been like that for years.
But I was like, y'all motherfuckers ain't see Get Out.
Word.
So you know me being the asshole I am, I'm like, get out. You know what I'm saying? I'm just walking around.
But what's even crazier that you bring that up, Dance Africa is down in Fort Greene. But remember, in the 90s, in the late 90s, our whole cultural paradigm celebrated who we are. From if you had Living Single, you had In Living Color, like everything was about being black and pro-black. You know what I'm saying? And that area changed to Bogalan. It was an African word. That's when we got Moshood and Circle R Enterprises.
Erykah Badu lived
over there. Yeah, we had so many black people because this is where the black artsy folks came in and we built up. But this is how it got compromised now. You had the people who were so artsy, they was into interracial dating and they brought their European lovers in. And white folks, I don't think black folks really study the history of white people enough. White people only get down to control and dominate. They don't never get down with something to play their position, to be subservient, saying, you know what, we know this is y'all thing. We know hip hop is y'all thing. We just like the culture. No, they come in, they penetrate, and then they just tear it up and turn it into the garbage that we have today. Even Jerry Heller said in the video, when he said he put out NWA, he said he was tired of what he referred to as big dick hip hop in New York with all the black medallions and stuff.
Yeah, big dick gold chain music.
Yeah, he was tired of us asserting our manliness because that's what our music did. But look what you got now. You got dudes in dresses calling other men wifey. It has been compromised, man. It's crazy.
And the funniest thing is that what happens is now when you speak like us, you start getting put in a box of, because we're the only people. Black people is the only people that call each other old. White people don't call each other old. We to be like, oh, shut your old ass up, or yo, you an old hater. If you look at when the youth are dissing somebody, like, if they diss Flex or whatever, you old. They call you old. So old is synonymous with just being like dumb and senile in the eyes of the youth, or has been, or never was in the eyes of the youth. But like I say, you live to age. That's the point of living. If you don't age, then you're dead. You know what I'm saying? Anything that doesn't grow dies. So the deal is, even the way we perceive each other has been compromised, because I like when I'm around Tab Pops and certain people and they say, yo, in my time, this, that, and the third, because he's an age that I would love to be. He been my age. I've never been his age. And for us to be living and trying to get there, the ideal factor of life is to live and age. And now it's like, let's be dumb.
YOLO.
Yeah, YOLO, let's be dumb. Let's smoke weed all day. Let's drink all day. Let's
have unprotected sex.
Let's have
everybody and everything.
With everybody and everything. You could fuck your homeboy one day, then fuck his girl, and everything is just not normal. But then when we talk about shit like this, we're looked at like we're fucking crazy, because everybody just like, yo, you just not with the times. And I'm like, well, I just ain't gonna be with the fucking times then, because I know that is not right. Now, one thing about me, I'm not tolerant of a lot of shit, but whatever you do, what you eat don't make me shit. But again, stop infecting your system of beliefs on everybody. And when they don't believe what you want to believe, or rock the way you want to rock, we're the ones that's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Because they made labels for us. For they, like I said, they call us old. They call you racist. They call you homophobic. They call you everything just because you simply don't agree. Me not agreeing with certain things, I don't want the youth to die. Tag as a youth group. So that right there null and voids people that think that we got issues with the youth.
Word.
We got a youth group.
I'm always surrounded with young people.
This is what I'm saying.
My youth group? Oh, the name of my youth group is called Party. It's Parents Actively Reclaiming Their Youth. And what we do is instill our children with the morals and the historical references that we came up with. We leave religion out of it, but we give them true facts, not the alternative facts, because everything we do, first of all, we research. We take books. And, you know, I deal with a lot of teenagers and young people. So I would take a chapter from a book by a noted scholar like a Dr. Clark, Dr. Ben, Dr. Barrett Shango, in the likes, and the Professor Anthony Browder, or Baba Walima Baruti. Shout out to my elder, Baba Baruti. Love that man to life. But we'll take a chapter, we'll have the children have, you know, they'll read it, and then we have a conversation based around what we just read and relate that to what we see happening in society. And not only that, then because that's just called, but then I do what's called field research, and we go to the libraries, we go to the museums, we go to lectures, we actually take it outdoors, outside of the community center, and you know, just bring it to life. And one thing I always do with young people, have them dissect their personal experience, because, you know, I'm like a teacher to them, but experience is the best teacher. And one of the things I always ask them, have you ever seen a kid in your school that was a stone cold sucker? He was a nerd last year, and then next year after the summer, he become this super gangster, super thug dude. All of them start laughing like, yeah, Tyrone in my class, or Ramel, like, yo, they wasn't even like that. I said, where did that come from? So then we start dissecting the music and pop culture. Where does this come from? Who's the producer of these things? You know what I'm saying? And then we start peeling back the fabric, because everything is layered. It's so multi-layered. Like, even when we start talking about African-centeredness, there's an ancestor named Dr. Amos Wilson, who wrote a book called The Falsification of African Consciousness. Because a lot of our people, even when we talk about African-centered thought, a lot of our people romanticize it. Many people don't know many Africans, and many of them haven't been to Africa at all to even understand what African culture is, or even respect the cultural paradigm that we created as Africans stuck in America. Because before people get their panties in a bunch, a lot of people say, well, not all of us came from Africa, which is true. Not during the transatlantic kidnapping, because it wasn't a trade. And we like to call it the Mayafa. But when you read the diary of Christopher Columbus, or it was another explorer whose names gets away from me right now, but they all wrote in their books that when they got here, prior to the transatlantic slave kidnapping, they said they saw the same people from West Africa here in America. See, a lot of people don't understand what happened was, a lot of them Europeans came over here as slaves themselves. We were the last resource. They brought slaves over here when they came. We have to be clear. Then they tried to enslave the indigenous people. Then they came to Africa and got us, broke down our will. So of course our cultural position was compromised. And what they did was they had black slaves and white slaves. And then there was a rebellion. There was the Bacon Rebellion. That's a whole nother, you got to look that up, the Bacon Rebellion. So what they did was create a class system to say, you know what, black people have to be slaves. No longer will we just enslave white people. We'll let them be poor, but they can't be slaves. And the way they confused them is they said, all right, you're poor, but you're white, so you're still better off than the Negroes. They just came out of bondage. So long as they got one up on somebody, they don't care. They're happy. Now, this is the poor white folks we're talking about. And this is where they just lumped everybody in one status symbol, you know what I'm saying? Just called everybody colored, because in the beginning we were known as African. But that's a whole nother story in itself, but that was our history being compromised. So these are the things that I have conversations and bring documentation for the children with, you know what I'm saying? Because fact of the matter is, if we want to reverse this paradigm we caught up in, we have to stop debating with idiots, and we have to start teaching the children. But we got to get real solid proof. We got to put that religious dogma to the side. That religious dogma don't get us nowhere. I always tell people, nobody know what my spiritual system is, what I believe, because it's of little importance. Malcolm X said in the Bullet of the Ballot, Your religion should be between you and your God. Right? Yeah, the ballot of the bullet. Yeah. When you come outside to do the work for the people, you come outside to do the work for the people. Leave that religion stuff home, leave it in the closet. And remember, Malcolm X was a minister, but that was part of his growth and understanding what the mistakes we was making as Black people was, but we regressed. And again, religion has been compromised. Everything's been compromised.
But it has been compromised. And I want to say why it has been compromised. It had become compromised for the almighty dollar. Everything has been compromised for money, because that be people fucking justification for being fucked up. But I'm getting money though. You still fuck. So that's why I say you could be a sucker with money. You could be a bitch ass nigga with money. You could just be a straight up scumbag with money. Money does not mean, it does not clean slate you. It's like almost like you can't delete your hoe card. You know what I'm saying? You got married, so you a hoe that got married. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be, oh, I got money, so now I'm not a sucker no more. You know what I'm saying? I got money, so now, because you got to think, the drug dealers in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s was fucked up. They was poisoning the community, and they was getting a lot of money. But where they fucked up was they didn't even invest back into the neighborhood as far as buying the neighborhood. Right. They were so busy worried about flash and shit that don't matter. That's why gentrification happened, and everybody was able to come and buy shit. You know what I'm saying? Because most drug dealers do what? They die broke, they get killed, or they just in jail forever. Nobody has left the game rich. You know what I'm saying? And you
just a small handful.
Yeah, yeah.
But think about a couple of locals.
Yeah. I mean, but this is what I'm saying. But it's like the demographic and the ratio is not in the favor of having this drug dealer dreams. You understand what I'm saying? The crack game has been compromised, which is, I'm happy about that. The weed has been compromised. The fucking liquor you drink. Listen,
K2.
This is what I'm saying. When you go to the club, a lot of times you get a Long Island iced tea, you might be drinking rubbing alcohol, and you just don't know that shit. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's true.
This is what I'm saying. Everything that you know has been compromised. So our interaction with each other on a day-to-day basis is just not the same, because we just had the mentality of, man, fuck that nigga. And it's like, for what?
Yeah. But
think about, hold on, I want to break this down to y'all, right? Think about social network. Think about how mentally fucking challenged you are sometimes while you're on social network, because you're looking at who looked at you. Think about that. You're looking at who looked at you. So you put a picture up, and then you go back and look at your picture that you put up to see who liked your picture. And based on who liked your picture or who didn't like your picture, you're in your feelings. So you like, I know that nigga motherfucking Bernard seen this shit. Oh, but now he don't want to like my shit, and I just like this shit. Think about how crazy that is. So now you judge everything based off likes. You know what I'm saying? But just because somebody liked your picture, that don't mean they like you.
They like you, right?
So we got everything. That shit, social media has been compromised. You know what I'm saying? Because it's about being social, but nobody's social on social media. People are blocking people. People are unfriending people. If you're on there to be people's friend, how do you get to the point where a disagreement, because if you spat, it's 5 things you never argue with people. Race, religion, politics, sports, and motherfucking sexuality. People just never gonna agree on those things. And I've seen people that I've known for a long time be at bitter odds to this day over some shit of one of those topics that they might have talked about 5 years ago. But social media, you're looking at who likes somebody else shit. And you be like, he liking this nigga shit, and he don't even know him. Or why you like my girl shit.
But I think to a point, remember, because as humans, we are social creatures. You know what I'm saying? And I think sometimes some things are slighted, because I mean, we're in the technological age. We're in the Gregorian calendar of 2017. And it's amazing on what people will give their attention to. And sometimes it becomes a slap in the face. And this is just my perception. You know what I'm saying? Because if you know that I got a youth group going on, why don't you send your children to my group? Because you know me personally, you know, because people see the pictures, right, Damage? I take the children almost everywhere. We always go in places. In fact, in July, we going to an amusement park. We having another trip. We just went to the Washington D.C. Smithsonian Museum for African American History, and what was so funny is we went twice. The first time our bus broke down, so they gave us tickets to come back. But if anybody know anything about that museum, it is hard as hell to get tickets, and everybody's like, "Yo, how did you get the tickets? How did you get the tickets? Could you call and hook me up?" And our position was like, "Nah, why didn't you just come on our trip with us? Why do you want to compete? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. How did you get the tickets? Who do I got to contact?" When all they had to do was we have a collaborative effort. So for me, it was a slight personally, but I'm not mad because the people couldn't go. They couldn't get tickets. Like, yo, they said they're not giving out no tickets till September. How did you get tickets twice and so fast? And it's because people don't understand when your spirit is right and your heart is in the right place and you're dedicated, because people don't know the blood, sweat, and tears that goes out into organizing people,
to organizing
groups, right? Doing Doggie Diamonds TV Live, doing No Filter. There's a lot that goes into these productions. And yeah, it looks easy. It's like for you DJ, right, Damage? Right. Everybody see you. You make it look easy. Yeah. Because, you know, it's no flaws. It's no hiccups. Right. So like, oh, word.
But you know what they did, right?
It's not practical.
What they did was they compromised us because they was able to shift our attention span.
Right.
And they made our initial attention span, because remember, y'all got to remember, when you're dealing with social media, the first thing, it was Black Planet. The kids had Stone X, right? Then you had MySpace. Then you had Facebook, but Facebook wasn't public. Facebook, you had to be in some type of college.
Yeah.
And then you had Twitter. So when Twitter came, your attention span was no more than 140 characters. Wow. And people don't realize how crazy that shit is. How much shit sometimes that you have to jumble in this little post to get your point across. So now you start incorrectly spelling shit because you got to get shit in there. Yeah. But then that carries over from you spelling your from Y-O-U-R
to just you
are. But then now you're starting to do that shit everywhere because that
filling out a job
you feel like you're compromised. You got compromised and you got relegated rather to 140 characters. So now the average person, with all due respect, can't read, or don't read, or lack reading comprehension. So now everything is fucked up based off of characters. Emojis. Motherfuckers don't even say what's up no more. Motherfucker give you a thumbs up or on and shit. Think about that shit. That's what I'm saying. So if you type in capitals, that means you're yelling. Yeah. Our communication is fucked up. People are in the same house talking about, yo, you ready? When they could just come in the next room and be like, yo, you ready? Yeah. This is what I'm saying. We have been compromised and we become slaves to all electronics. Some of us use the electronics to our advantage to, stay in contact with people around the globe that, support what we do. But I don't let that dictate my relationships with people. I say to people, yo, look, man, pick up the fucking phone. When people text me, I wish I could show you this shit. You text me earlier, right? Yeah. What'd I do? You called. I called you because I'm not going to sit there and text with you all day. Right. A 2-second conversation could end 60 texts.
Word.
Plus, you can hear, you can hear the conviction in my voice. You can hear different things depending on what we're discussing. You cannot detect that over these devices. It gets construed. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times I like to just call people. Coco will text me. What I do, I call her. I'm king of random FaceTime. I will FaceTime you 3:34 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck what you doing.
Play golf.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
mask
off and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So because I like to be transparent with people. I like for people to know exactly what it is I'm saying, thinking, and feeling at that moment. So we've been compromised on how we deal with each other based off these devices. You got motherfuckers who's dead ass broke, but they got an $800 device in their hand, and they don't even live nowhere. What do you need a phone for if you're homeless?
And shout out to them.
It's like I seen the meme on social media. There was like this girl was like she hungry and they told her, eat the apple off the back of your phone.
This is what
I'm saying. Damn. That's crazy.
This is what I'm saying. So
it's got a point.
So everything that we do, everything that we know, everything that we love, the music, the television programs, there isn't a program on TV that shows a healthy black family anymore. Everything is dysfunction. So we don't even know what a healthy black family looks like anymore. You know, even though Bill Cosby with his flaws and his fault, but when you saw the Cosby Show, they told us that shit was unrealistic.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Hold on.
So who though? Like it might not have been unrealistic.
To black people though.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is like
it
some
was
people's
black people
households was
saying
like
that.
that.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
but
that's
see,
true.
but at the time,
and a mother in the household like me, I was fortunate enough to have both parents. And
Yeah.
sometimes looking at the Cosby Show, I'm like, damn, he reminded me of my pops. So he reminded me of my mom.
and see, for me, it was kind of realistic. Even though my pops didn't live with us, my step pops was in the crib. My pops lived like 5 blocks down. So I didn't come from a broken family, or it wasn't even considered a broken home. Because what's crazy is the era that we grew up in, you knew every last one of your friends' fathers, whether they lived in a house or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you live on my block, my pops don't live in the crib, but I know your pops, he live in your crib, but you know my pops because you always see me with my pops. My pops even coming to pick me up, drop me off, or whatever the case may be. He might take you with him. You know what I'm saying?
But you think about it, right? The Cosby Show wasn't normal, but the Brady Bunch was though.
Yeah.
And
right.
that was
a blended.
That was some fuck shit. You understand what I'm saying? That was really more unrealistic, and that was more realistic to some black families because a lot of black people have ready-made families sometimes.
Right,
blended families. But that was normal for them. But the Cosby Show was like a mother and a father, and he's a fucking doctor.
And she's
a lawyer.
She's a lawyer. Hell no. You understand what I'm saying? So now when you look at TV and it's about being disloyal, it's about being untrustworthy, it's about how can you screw somebody over. And then when I go through my Facebook timeline and I see Stevie J, no, he wrong, and I'm like, yo, y'all really internalizing this shit outside of the program. You understand what I'm saying? You watch this shit and then you leave it alone.
Dog, when we was in Atlanta, right? Me, you, Deb, Anthony, Rashida, right?
Yeah.
Remember Kurt was there, right?
Yeah.
We always gonna take a picture, but then Kurt stepped out the picture. He was like, nah, I'm supposed to be mad at her.
Yeah, exactly.
But they came together.
Yeah, Rashida and Kirk was together.
She was pregnant.
And I said, "Yo, Kirk, let me get a picture." Y'all. He said, "Nah, I can't be in the picture."
No, remember at first he posed, but then he stepped back.
Yeah, he's like,
no,
we're not supposed to be together right now.
Yeah, we're not supposed to be together. We're supposed to be mad at each other. And I'm like, yo, and people really like Team Rashida, Team Kirk. Right.
That image out there.
That's part of the mind control that goes on.
This is what the
and then they label it as reality. What was funny is one time I did a show called Sharp Talk, one of Al Sharpton's shows that he used to have about 12 years ago. And I shut him down. It was me, Al Sharpton, Omarosa, and the brother Kwame that was used to be on The Apprentice. It was, all the black people from Apprentice, myself and Al Sharpton. And we did the show. They never aired the show because I shut them down about reality show. Everything that we see today, I said was coming. In terms of how they view black people, on how black people get represented in the television shows. And Omarosa agreed with me because she said they always paying her to be the B. Because remember, about 12 years ago, you didn't have Love and Hip Hop. You didn't have Basketball Wives. You didn't have none of this stuff. All you really had was The Apprentice, Real World, and maybe like Fear Factor and stuff
Real World
like
spinoffs
that.
and shit, and Survivor.
Yeah, you didn't have black folks show, but I told them what would happen. And the only reason I knew that would happen because I've done a lot of reading. Mind Control of the United States was one of them, and reading the book, The King Alfred Plan. And I only reference those 2 books among many because those speak directly to where we were going. And in fact, you also read Behold a Pale Horse by William Cooper. He used to be a naval intelligence officer, and he said they was going to murder him for writing the book. And in fact, they did murder him on his compound. His local sheriff shot him down on his compound, on his property.
He was already paralyzed.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just so crazy on how people try to give us the information that we need and we're seeking, but we won't even go as far as cracking the book open.
Because the attention span, like, for example, this video right here, this video might be about 50 minutes. You know what people say? 50 minutes? I ain't watching that shit. It's too long.
That's amazing.
I'm like, yo, how could you say you had too much food if you got to eat off this shit for the rest of your life? If somebody said, I'm going to give you a fucking lifetime supply of whatever food you want, that don't mean you're going to ingest all the food in one day. You're going to prepare meals. When you watch these videos, you don't have to sit there and watch it in one watch. But while you're not watching this, what are you doing? What is cutting into your smoke time, your drink time, or your stupid dances that you doing, y'all little skinny pants wearing motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? And that's the shit that's crazy because even with the fashion, right? Let me break down the fashion for you. At the end of the day, when you look at certain clothes, it says EUR. That means it's Euro cut for European men. It's not for you, black men. So the shit is naturally not going to fit you. You know what I'm saying? We are naturally built different from them. It's not for us. So my shit is, how your pants tight and don't fit though? If they tight, they supposed to be tight up on you. How they under your ass and tight? Think about that though. How do they not go up and tight?
That's a lot to extract.
You see women who fight to get in their pants because the pants are tight, but they get them up though.
Yeah.
These little motherfuckers don't even get the pants up, but they're tight as fuck. And then they walking around like fucking penguins, but they want to show their belt to where they'll stuff their hoodie in the belt. And this is what I'm saying. Fashion has been compromised.
Stuff the hoodie in the belts.
They'll tuck their hoodie in.
So the $300 belt.
This is what I'm saying. So fashion.
I'm unaware.
Fashion has been compromised to where it's okay for our youth to look a certain way. Look at even the haircuts. All these little dudes is walking around with nappy ass fucking hair.
Nobody got waves.
Yeah, nobody got waves. Nobody is groomed. I remember Taz's son, little buddy. He came one day and Taz was like, "Yo, fuck is up with your hair?" He's like, "Yo, I want to get dreads." All right, until you get them shits, keep that shit groomed. You ain't gonna be walking around looking like you ain't got no parents.
Line it up, wash it, condition it.
This is what I'm saying, but it's like, where are the values at? Because, you know, when I was coming up, we didn't listen to the same music that the elders listened to because that shit was considered to be old music. But as I got older, I learned to appreciate that shit. Now the mothers and the children are listening to the same music. So there really is no separation. So once your child becomes your best friend, how do you parent your best friend now? Once mothers and daughters is fucking the same dudes, how do you parent somebody that you fucked her boyfriend before?
Oh, wow. So
we've been compromised. This is what I'm saying. The family value has been compromised to where now you at odds with your mother because y'all fucking the same dude, or y'all in competition for the same man.
So yeah, whoop your mother's ass.
No, I'm about to cut you off.
I didn't know what Haj was chiming. I was just trying to like, I was trying to come in.
Nah, so it's like,
I didn't know what to say.
Yeah, so it's like, so like at the end of the day, this is what's happening. We've been compromised, and it's like now we're so stuck in this rut. Everybody's looking around, and then the shit that we know is not normal is perfectly normal. And then when you say, I like to use the elephant in the room. If you walk in a room and it's a big ass elephant in the room, first thing you're gonna do is walk in the room like, what the fuck? Why y'all got a big ass elephant in the room? But everybody's like, what elephant? I don't see an elephant.
I don't see nothing about the elephant.
So everything that you've known to be weird, fucked up, you know, and there's nothing wrong with different, because different is a sign of the time sometimes. You know, we did wear our clothes baggy. Me personally, I don't wear big baggy clothes no more either. I don't wear 5XTs and none of that shit, but I'm not wearing no small shirt. You understand what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. That's just some grown man shit, so I understand it. But how did you go in the women's section and buy your clothes?
That's like Lil Uzi Vert. They was killing him recently. I think around Mother's Day, he had like
he had a blouse on.
Wow.
But this is what I'm saying. But then you'll have people who say, let him do him. That's what he want to do. And that's cool. But when you are a person of influence, you have to realize sometimes you're influencing people that can't be subject to ridicule, that's going to kill themselves. And they're not doing it because that's what they want to do. They're doing it because that's what the people at the cool table are doing. Yeah. And everybody want to be at the fucking cool table.
It's funny you say that, because that brings so many thoughts to my mind real quick. Real quick, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing in her book, The ISIS Papers, talked about this. She said white supremacy is going to have black men wearing dresses. She said that. I remember she was on Donahue. They laughed at her for that synopsis. For those who don't know, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing was quoted at the beginning of Baby Boy. And that whole premise of that movie was based on her book about black men not growing up and being men. And in fact, going from boys to just turning into women, into girls, but being emasculated from being black men.
Because Jody was a bitch ass dude. He wanted to be under his mother.
And that's why he was called a baby boy. He never grew to be a man. You know what I'm saying? That's part one. But part two, what you was talking about people not being able to be subjected to the ridicule, it becomes a celebration when people do stupidity, like with Bruce Jenner turning into Caitlyn. There was a dude named William Hayer who said that there's a psychosis that's going on with Bruce Jenner that hasn't been addressed, because William Hayer used to think that he was gay. He used to think he was gay, but he was molested as a child, but he grew up, became a homo, when they got the sex change operation, started doing some studies on seeing how to help other people who want to go into that transgender lifestyle, but then realized across his studies, he realized that something's wrong with him mentally. He didn't address the trauma of being raped as a child. So his words to Bruce Jenner was like, yeah, everybody's celebrating you now, but when the lights go out and the crowd thins out, that pain is still gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? Don't let these people persuade you into, you know what I'm saying, that you're this hero and you're doing something great. And that speaks to your point, dog, about Lil Uzi Vert and them. They feel celebrated because everybody's like, yeah, you're brave. Yeah. A real man will wear panties in a blouse. Like, you know what I'm saying? And they're giving these people the wrong messages because if their self-esteem was in place, they wouldn't even entertain that nonsense.
Look at how, you remember the movie Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your gin and juice. Juice in the Hood. It was different things in that movie that I took. When the dude smoked the weed and died, what he said? Pass that shit.
Yeah.
So that right there sent the message
that movie was so true though.
You willing to die if the weed is good. Right. Which, you know, nobody really dies for weed.
But no, hold up.
Yeah.
The K2 now.
Yeah, exactly. But now you got motherfuckers smoking K2 and it's
biting faces, just
the black eye
knuckles across the floor. Like,
you got niggas living in Florida, living in, doing Florida things, and we know what Florida things are.
Yeah, so
I don't know. I'm from Brooklyn.
Yeah, so but the point I'm making is that everything.
Shout out to Orlando Orange Blossom Trail.
Everything has been compromised, and for me personally, I ain't having it. If people out there want to say certain shit is normal, that ain't normal to me, it ain't never gonna be normal to me. And if you want to put me in this classification and you want to ostracize me like I'm the odd man out, then I'm okay with that. I'm going to live being the odd man out because it's just certain shit that's never going to be normal to me. It's never going to be normal for people to have certain behaviors unless you want to go into a certain demographic, because certain people with certain demographics do things that are different. You got a motherfucker, listen, you got a motherfucker right now somewhere that think he's a fucking baby. Think about it. This motherfucker's in the crib. He's grown as a motherfucker, hair up and down his back. He got on Pampers. He's shitting in Pampers, drinking a bottle with a bonnet on his fucking head somewhere.
Ain't got a job.
Yeah, and he's talking about gaga goo goo. But when he leave his job, he go home and live as a fucking baby. If that's what he want to do, cool. But I'm going to tell him, motherfucker, you ain't no baby. Right. But we've been compromised so much in our thought, and our expressions is always so negative towards each other that you can't even tell people the truth anymore. The truth has been compromised because now, what is the truth now? Right. You know what I'm saying? What is the fucking truth? And the truth is the truth. Truth doesn't need validation. You know what I'm saying? Right. Truth is the truth. So this is what I'm saying. You got, I seen, because I watched this shit called, this is the YouTube channel called Barcroft. And they be having all types of documentaries and shit in there. You got motherfuckers on there that drink gas. Wow. Motherfuckers that eat bricks and shit. And this is just My Strange, you never seen that shit? My Strange addiction. Yeah, motherfucker drink gas. You got some people who eat fucking air freshener. So that shit ain't normal.
That's weird.
This is what I'm saying.
Like toilet paper,
you got, it was a chick who eat
deodorant. Yes.
So this is what I'm saying. So
mattress.
And exactly. Yep, exactly.
Ass.
No, all right. She's out here.
Eating ass. They do it. You guys know what they do. You know what they do. Hello. Are we listening?
So listen.
They tried to silence me, people, but you know.
Turn her half off.
I'm getting real serious for a second.
No, listen, we about to close.
You guys know.
No, we about to close.
Y'all tuned in with me. You know what we're talking about.
No, so at the end of it all, my whole things to people is that a lot of shit that you see, and if you have a problem with it, and it's not normal to you, and it doesn't go with your morals, values, and principles, or how you were raised, and if it doesn't feel right in your spirit, don't fall victim to that shit. Tell your children now that's not okay. Let's not get with the sign of the times, because the way the times are going, shit is fucked up.
All the way up.
And shit has been compromised. And I'm just never going to be with. Go ahead.
How do you feel about, it might be a stupid question, but like Donald Trump being in office and stuff like that?
The fucking American government was always compromised, but we watched it get compromised when a reality TV star became the fucking president.
But remember, it was an anomaly when Ronald Reagan became president.
Yeah, because he was an actor. A whack-ass actor at that.
I always got to explain this to people. Ain't nobody in office that they don't want in office. Because they don't want you in there, they will take you out. Ask Lincoln, ask Kennedy.
yeah. But my thing with Trump, though, I think that was the greatest meteoric rise of the troll. So now you have everybody who wants to make a living. They want attention for being all the way to the right. If everybody's like, yo, that brownie was good. That brownie tastes like pancake mix. And he's just saying that shit to be different because they watch somebody win. So you have different personalities. They don't even really feel like that, but they're saying shit to get a rise out of you. What I do
for the shock value.
What I do, I just tune that shit out. When I see somebody who has an opinion about everything, who knows everything, I just don't pay attention to that shit because I'm like, yo, this motherfucker, if you knew everything, then you would be in a better situation.
Right.
I don't profess to know everything.
Shout out to the motor mouths.
You understand what I'm saying? I don't profess to know everything. I don't profess to come on camera every day and speak about shit. You know, if it rained too hard. Well, reason why it's raining, because the cosmos, it's like, motherfucker, shut up.
Yeah,
But this is what's happening right now. But on that note, I'm Doggie Diamonds. Doggie Diamonds No Filter is the podcast. It's on SoundCloud, Google Play, and iTunes. I'm not going to be telling y'all this shit every time. Go look for my shit. You fuck with me, fuck with my shit the way you fuck with these dudes that don't even fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? At least me, myself, if you have interaction with me, I do respond. I do talk to people all day, every day, whether it be in the street or on the internet, regardless. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, y'all been compromised as the audience and the consumer because y'all starting to love and y'all got a infatuation with people who don't give a fuck about you. And the people who do care about you, who actually deal with you, you don't give a fuck about them. You know what I'm saying? You want love and respect from people who don't even acknowledge your existence. And they look at you, say something to them, and they purposely ignore you. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that is. Make sure you go to the store, shop.doggiediamondstv.com, pick up the Discipline snapback, pick up the Discipline t-shirt. Without discipline, I wouldn't have been able to lose 117 pounds. So I took my lifestyle, put it into clothing. And if you look at the symbol, it's a West African symbol that means nurture and discipline. Around the circle,
right there.
No, this ain't it. This is on Pan-African design. But around the circle is arrows going around the circle showing you repetition. When you have discipline, you have to be repetitive in your actions and you get up at the right time. You go to sleep at the right time. You are not programmed, but you have discipline because you know better. And if you do certain things with timing, then you get better results. Like one of the key factors in weight loss is eating at a certain time. But you have to have discipline to eat at this time because a lot of times we're not hungry sometimes. So you might say, damn, I got to eat, but I'm not hungry. But you got to eat something because if you don't eat at 7 o'clock, by 9 o'clock, you're going to be starving. And now that's too late to eat. You know what I'm saying? So discipline make you say, okay, being that I'm not hungry at 7, maybe I'll just eat a couple of pieces. I eat a couple of Brussels sprouts and maybe a little piece of chicken or something like that. So I won't be starving later because by the time 9 o'clock comes, you're not going to be hungry at all because you ate at 7. You know 9 o'clock is too late to eat. Right. So that's why I call it discipline. So shout out to everybody who made purchases. We out here. We holler at y'all next week. Peace.
Peace. I'm going to miss you guys. Hello.
Coco.